I don't know if there's enough lighting in here. My hair's getting so long I'm washing it all the time now, so it's wet. Sorry about that. Anyway, cell groups sometimes they hit different areas and it becomes a fad. Some churches get into it. They start cell groups. A lot of jokes about cell groups. A lot of good things. A lot of negative things that you hear. But what are the risks behind cell groups? That's the thing. A lot of people don't look at this stuff. Now, I've been involved in cell groups. I've seen what happens with cell groups. I went to this church, Assemblies of God. I've gone to 2 or 3 churches now, and that had cell groups. 3, yeah, I've gone to 3 churches that have had cell groups. 2. Or is that 3? I can't even remember. Anyway, but here's the thing. You get a cell group, you get a group of guys together and girls together, you know, guys with this, girls with that, and in case you guys don't know what it is, a cell group is when the church organizes something for people, the regular members of the church, people who show up, will plan to have other members at their church for them to study the Bible together. And what they do is they come up with different things, they talk to each other, and what it is it's, actually when I think of it right now, I would say it's very cult-like. Because it's a group of 12, because of the 12 disciples, and they believe in this whole numerology thing, that there's something behind the number 12, so you have to have 12. And, or you cannot go past 12, that's the thing. And, there's different groups, all of them go off, they share their innermost secrets with each other, and you're supposed to completely trust each other and not tell anyone else these things. And you go off, you study the Bible together, but what happens here is all these different cell groups become their own little churches, right? And it's meant to bring other people in the community into the group and spread the word of God that way amongst the people of the land. But when this happens, everyone in the group, they all form together, get their own belief system, and you always have the people who want to take the show and things like that. People aren't humble. So what you do is you get a lot of people who don't know anything about God, here with Bibles, trying to find deep things on there, or grab things from other philosophies that they've heard of before, and then you have all these different groups of 12, or groups of whatever number, all believing completely different things. And then the church will tell them, okay, this week all the cell groups need to do this or do that. It's stupid. And what it does is it causes division. And different people to believe different things. Because no one likes to take the Bible for what it says. You see? And then everyone always says in the Greek and says something completely different that doesn't even mean in the Greek. But the thing is if you want separation and you want to see your church go under, create cell groups. Seriously. Because when you get the blind leading the blind, that's already scriptural. I mean, you can't find any scriptures behind it. I've heard people in cell groups and people start cell groups say stupid things, saying the best way for you to learn is to teach others the things you don't know. No joke. I've heard that crap. Same stuff that Amway says and Quickstar and all these get-rich-quick people who have these stupid things. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But that's the only thing I'm going to tell about you. I've seen all these cell groups and nothing ever comes from any of them. They're basic, they're simple. Sometimes you get a group together that's druggies. I've seen guys, and this is what can really happen bad in cell groups. I've seen 3 cell, not 3 or 2. 1, 2, 3. 3 cell groups break off into their own beliefs and become cults. And they left the church. And the things that they believed were so radical. It was ridiculous. They believed in these things like they all had to drink from the same cup and it had to be wine because that's what it was used in the Bible. And they said specifically it has to be this, you have to do it this way, and it was very legalistic and fleshly. They couldn't think in the spiritual sense. Everything had to be physical, you see. So be careful with cell groups. Be careful with these things. They will cause division, and it pretty much seems like it's a trick of Satan to try and tell people, go out and spread people in the world by separating. And then it doesn't make any sense, the way they do that. But, you should spread the word of God to every living creature, sure, but you don't separate. You don't separate the church to do it. What you do is you bring in other disciples and make sure that they get to the point where they know how to do it, and then have them go off and start their own thing. Big difference between dispersing and guiding people, learning to guide. So that's all. Be careful with cell groups, and if you're thinking of getting involved with one, be very careful. I know they're probably not all bad, but with my experience with the many I've seen, and I've seen many, they usually are.